guys, welcome back to my channel, Shelf Life Extension. My name is Alexis and today I'm going to be doing my January reading wrap up. So I haven't been reading too much since the start of the year, but I have been steadily reading and I've been actively reading a lot more. So I figured I would just go ahead and talk about the few books that I have read because I have some pretty decent feelings on them. So to start things off, the first book that I completed this month was The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. This was definitely a book that I had on my list of things to buy. It just wasn't something that I necessarily wanted like today, but my book club decided to pick this out and I was like, well, perfect reason I guess to go ahead and snag it. So this story follows a woman named Irene who is a professional librarian, and she belongs to a library that is like this super secret organization that only librarians have access to, and she goes around throughout the world as well as other worlds to collect important works of fiction and artifacts to bring back into the library to pretty much kind of save them from humanity and from time. So what happens is she is given a new mission and a new assistant. His name is Kai. So along with her assistant Kai, they are sent to an alternative London to try and find a original copy of the Brothers Grimm. They're not exactly sure what's so special about this copy, but all that they know is that they are sent on this mission. They have to go retrieve it and try and bring it back to the library. But the moment that they step into this alternative London, things just kind of go wrong. The librarian in resident goes missing. They can't find the copy. It kind of like involves them into this really big kind of conspiracy ongoing investigation that the London police are already doing, and they just kind of find themselves in the middle of it and they're not exactly sure why or what's going on. So if you couldn't tell already, it's a lot like the TV show The Librarians or the actual original films The Librarian. You know, it's this cosmic library that they're a part of that they have to go and get these manuscripts and bring back for safekeeping. There's magic, alternative worlds. It's very much like that, just in a book. So I personally love The Librarians TV show. It's super cheesy and it's fun, and I like the Librarian movies, so it doesn't put me off too much, but it is kind of like, it is legitimately the exact same thing. So for some people that might throw you off a little bit and might not be too interesting considering it's not very original, but it was still entertaining. Overall, I felt like the premise was pretty predictable, but it was still really entertaining. I really like the relationships that flourish in this book, and I really like the magic system that's in there because they have this thing called the language, which only the librarians can master, and it pretty much is a spoken form that can give you power over like inanimate objects and things like that, which is really cool. So it's definitely not something that I thought was like super great. I definitely plan on getting the rest of the books to read them, but it's not necessarily on my top of things to do anytime soon, but it was still definitely entertaining. So I suggest if you do like the librarians, like that whole kind of concept of a professional librarian who's like a field agent and stuff, you would definitely enjoy this. So there's that. Next thing I read was Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. My sister downloaded this on Audible, so I was listening to it in audiobook format, and for the most part, when I'm doing my puzzles on like the floor and stuff, I really like to have either music playing or I'm reading a book. And since she decided to go ahead and download that, I was like, well, I'm just gonna do that. So literally, I listened to the entire book throughout the entire time I was working on that puzzle. And that puzzle was ridiculous. It destroyed me. It took forever. But either way, it's just a biography. It's Anna Kendrick. It's really funny. It just kind of covers her life and the beginning of her career and kind of the things that she's gone through and experienced as an actress and a woman, just trying to find her way through life and how she kind of fits into everything. It's really entertaining. It's definitely a little bit more sarcastic and dark than you would probably expect coming from someone like Anna Kendrick, because she is so witty and funny. It's really, it's just a lot of fun hearing about her life and what she's gone through. Although I will say with the audiobook, there are pictures and stuff that apparently were part of a PDF I really wanted to see because she attaches like a lot of photos and stuff that like you can't find on the internet. So I would definitely say figure out how to do that PDF format thing. Otherwise, just go ahead and get the book. Like I went to Barnes & Noble and I started looking through the book to find all the pictures that I wasn't able to see. But it was still entertaining. And the last thing that I finished this month was Proximo by Stephen Baxter. This was a book that I picked up a little while ago and it was just kind of sitting on my shelf. It was definitely part of like the whole space opera thing that I was kind of going through, and I still am going through. It's something that I'm very much interested in. I'm more interested in kind of pursuing in the future and now. But I've never read anything by Stephen Baxter, and when I saw this it looked pretty cool and I was like, why not? So pretty much this story follows a group of settlers who are pretty much bagged and tagged. They are straight kidnapped and forced onto this spaceship and dropped off on a new planet in a new galaxy. And people are like, hey, lucky you guys, you're gonna be the new people, you're gonna be the first people on this planet, and you're gonna be the ones to colonize and like make a name for it and build it and just like get it ready for other people to come to. And they're just like, are you serious? Because they had absolutely no say in the matter. They just literally just got jacked. And so pretty much on the planet, they drop off all the passengers in groups of like 8 or 10 in different areas of the planet, and they're just like, don't bother looking for other people because you're too far away. Hey, good luck, go to making babies. Like, it's ridiculous. But it follows a particular group of people, and particularly one person. His name is Yuri, and it follows kind of like his story and how he found himself on this ship and not knowing at all what was to be expected of him. Nobody really knew what was happening, and how he gets dropped off in a certain area with his group, and how just shit hits the fan, okay? Like, it gets crazy so fast. And it's crazy because you're just like, I could definitely see that happening. Like, that would totally happen, like, the end. Because, you know, they try and mix the people, you know, 4 women, 4 men, kind of like that. But it just so happens with his group, a couple of them, a woman or 2 die. And so there's a couple men who are left without a woman, and they're just like, what? We're not gonna share. And we're like, don't touch me. Like, and so people end up dying for obvious reasons. I definitely want to say though that what I thought this entire book was going to be was only like the first 20 chapters, and then the rest of it you're just kind of like, what the heck is going on? What's happening? What is the point? Like, I read this entire thing in like 2 days because it does keep your interest. You are constantly wondering like, what's happening? What's going on? But it does just get weird. And there's so many open things, like just plot holes and things that don't make sense, and you're just like, why? But still entertaining. I definitely wanted this entire book to just be those first like 20 chapters. At least that's what I was expecting, and that's something I'd be more interested in. Now I know that entire little snippet is like, it's great, but also it kind of isn't. It's hard. I enjoyed it. It's interesting. It's different. It's cool. But also, there's just a lot of things that are left unsaid that I'd very much like to have answers to. So, it's hard. I gave it like 3 out of 5. It was entertaining. I definitely kind of want to know what happens. There is, I believe, a second book to it. And I get it. I don't know. See, I'm conflicted. But anyways, those are the 3 books that I have completed for this month of January. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, just leave them in the comment section below, and I will be sure to get back to you, or at least try to. I've been having troubles with YouTube lately where they haven't been letting me reply to comments, which is kind of annoying. But hey, I'll do what I can. Otherwise, again, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll check you guys out next time. Bye!